We are here. It is time. We are kicking off FACEIT League Season 7 right here, right now. Welcome to Season 7. Season 7 will kind of run in the off-season here for FACEIT League. So it brings with it its own unique set of interesting parameters and a lot of fun stuff going on. We will have, I believe, 4 weeks of play before the Christmas break, like Christmas, New Year's break. And then there's going to be 3 weeks off. And then we'll come back and we'll conclude in the going all the way up until January. Actually, I think it's going to be first 5 weeks will be before the break. And then we'll have 3 weeks of play in January before we have playoffs coming up. We'll be starting in February here for Season 7. Of course, this will all culminate into the OWCS qualifiers, right? Well, I mean, obviously, expert teams won't have as much of a stake in that, but we see this all trickle down as we have this off-season season here for number 7. We are going to start with expert this week. From my understanding, most master teams are rescheduling. You've got a lot of players that are either in Stockholm or there's other stuff going on. Obviously, we have in the United States, we're going to have our Thanksgiving holiday, which is good. It's kind of a family holiday, a lot of traveling and that kind of thing happening here in the States. So this week, I anticipate will be mostly focused on expert division. We'll probably get into more master division teams next week. But with that said, let's get right on into it. We are right here at the top of the hour. We've got Let That Sink In, taking on 721 here today. Where's my, come on, give me my, there it is. There's our FACEIT page. I've got Let That Sink In kind of down here just at the trying to crack top 12. We got 721 currently listed in 5th. We are going to get Let That Sink In, apparently are getting our first map pick. We got to get back in the groove. We got to get back in the groove. It's time for FACEIT League. Taking a look, 721, just essentially coming off of a grand champion run through Andromeda Season 2, winning that grand finals yesterday. I was under the name Young and Beautiful, and it was with a different backline. They did have Lau in there playing Flux support. They had Lau and Eden, so a little bit different backline there. We are saying the Zarya band here with the Nepal pick out of Sync. I'm just going to call them Sync. It just seems kind of easy at this point. But you did still have Riox ready and Patata there in that Young and Beautiful Grand Champion squad from Andromeda. So we got to see how this core was working. The Reaper Czar was exceptional from them. When they got to play the Reaper Czar, they were winning, even on maps where you might not expect it to work. We also had a Junkrat band come through from 721. So, I mean, Band the Rat out early. Both of these teams, I believe, went 5-1 through expert quals. Let That Sink In, if I remember correctly, is a brand new squad here. Again, I had them ranked just outside of the top 12. We will have top 8. We do have a few more teams. We have, I think, 4 or 5 more teams in expert this season than we had in Season 6, which is awesome. I still expect it to be a top 8 by the end of the season. So, I mean, that's still a long ways away. We'll have a big break, so it won't be playoffs until February. But that's what these teams will be hunting for, is trying to get top 8. Let That Sink In is, in fact, a brand new squad. This is their debut here in FACEIT League. That's where you head into Nepal. Let's get ready. Let's get into this. I'm so excited. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be back. We're going to check out some new teams here. Let's go. Let's get into it. It's time for map 1.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
That is Ego or Patata time. They're playing. Oh, I do have the side swapped. 721 is on your left-hand side. That is going to be the team here with Days ready, Patata. Interesting playing the, obviously Zarya band coming out early, so you have to play the Winston here. But Riox able to just sit in that cast. We get our first couple of kills go in that direction. First cap will go to 721, and I'm gonna get your side swapped here. That means I'll also have to swap your bands. Bear with me real quick. Boom. And boom. All right, sorry about that. Ooh, yeah, I got it. Breaking some rust off. Breaking some rust off. Oh, nice little move. I love the knockdown. James rolls in the corner. Reddy ends up taking a lot of damage. Fortunately, they're not able to find that kill. Oh, Rick Owens does claim the kill. Takes a little bit, but eventual displacement works out. Big pile drive in, but Riox is going to pop the dead eye. So let's see. Ball turns the corner and finds Hot Babe. Let's go allow Oliver to continue to increase on this lead. Oh, as I say that, James gets the kill onto Oliver. The player advantage was exacerbated there by Potato Time and Company. 53% counting on the board. We're already getting a very swift re-engage here with mines. Oh, but James just takes too much damage. I haven't quite decided, Martian, what game I'm doing for NA, to be honest. I gotta go and take a look. I'll figure we can make our schedule today. One of the things we'll probably do after the stream. I plan to stream between now and then, so. Kitsu thrown in, but Rafflemaker goes down just as the Kitsu hits. Killa has their own here on the point. After a little sneaky flip, 7-2-1 take their objective right back. Ooh, James trying to get out. Wafflemaker with the cover. Lands the shot. Unfortunately, they have to give their life for it. So you end up in a 4v2. Back over here towards the point. Rose is able to Kitsu, swift step away. Hot Babe's kind of stuck in behind enemy lines. Does get the OT going. We have a Primal Rage in play here from Potato Time. Oh, almost got the Ajax. Hot Babe's able to get the Sound Barrier down. There's just not enough players left to take advantage of it. We will get a 100-7 start here for 7-2-1. Junkrat Band is certainly some aura. That is certainly some aura.
3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Let's see Quill going to the Ana here, backing up. Potato Time in the winning. James going into an Orisa. I like the Orisa picker personally. It's kind of been, it's like an old school staple on Sanctum. You can kind of play from range, but also muscle through the bridge. Potato Time low, good spear. Still a bunch of red X's, and eventually the kill will come through. Probably the best that we've seen Sync look here so far. We're gonna get Potato Time swap into a Diva coming back out of spot. Days into the Ashe. I've been seeing a lot more Ashe recently here over the past couple weeks after the mid-season patch for season 19. Of course, the range, 10 meters of range added back in before Ashe starts to see fall-off damage. So I think really noticeable. Really noticeable. Trying to push across the bridge. Wafflemaker's got wheels down, but took a shot from Days to the head. Ready, and Potato Time there to finish off the high damage output hero. The Gatling gun brought down. Oh, teleport on the point. Rick Owens is able to anchor. Here comes the jab spin. Oh, Rick Owens will just get booped and destroyed. James finds themselves in a bit of a pickle. They're inside the hallway, and that'll be point flip. 50% counting on board for a sync. Hotbane's still about 20% away from this sound barrier coming into this next fight. Oh, great pick from Jams, though. Wall edge, gonna hold this out of side. There's a nano boost, throw it onto him. They're gonna fly out, see if they can find the Bastion, I'd imagine, who is using artillery strike. Ends up working out. Already finds us who killed. He's scrappy once Sync tries to push in. It got really scrappy really quickly. I'm sorry, the Brad. I'm sorry. Man, the power rankings were so tough, okay? I was bound to get them wrong. I was bound to get somebody wrong. So I'm looking for that blizzard. Nope, it's gonna be just a death blossom right out to the middle. I gotta keep an eye on Kill. Kill and Oliver have been having some fun here and making up for some haphazard ultimates out of ready and maybe some early deaths. James just swapped the wrecking ball. So no more racing. We've come back into the side entrance. Couple roll throughs on a days, but we're gonna try to invest Bob. Once again, an early death. This one on to ready. 5v4. Jams turns it into a 4v3 with a pick on to Riox. Sleep Dart does not land. Hopping gets caught in the self-destruct. That's unfortunate. Jams cut off point, 95%. Blizzard thrown in, but Rick Owens goes down to get it onto the objective. Everybody's able to LOS that. The ball's down. Nobody here to stall. And this will be 7-2-1, closing it out in 2. Start off Season 7 with a 1-0 lead. Ooh, I have got to get warmed up. I am not warm at all. My goodness. Pretty dominant performance. And with Sync banning out the Zarya early, we can expect... Oh, was there an AJ at the end? Yeah, I was wondering. I didn't see happy Season 7 start date to those who celebrate. I was about to say, I didn't think I saw that second sound barrier hit the ground. I was wondering about that after the fact. I certainly missed it in the moment. Good catch, y'all. We got a Suravasa pick here from Sync. And a Diva band out. Looking at some stats. What do we got? We got 7 deaths in totality there from 7-2-1. Not too shabby. Very dominant performance. Reacts with 11k damage. Most in the lobby by country mile. It's been so much hurt. Pull out both either the cowboy or the cowgirl. Either cowpoke. Either cowpoke working well there for Reox. And that is a truckload of damage. My goodness. Bo will be our guest today. So we can kind of squeeze him underneath the logo on the scoreboard, and it'll just nestle right in there. All right, what do we got? We got a Kyrie band here out of 7-2-1. 7-2-1 are only getting more and more difficult. They're only going to level up more. And one thing we did see with them in the Andromeda tournament was even if you take them to maps that you wouldn't typically think of as being Zarya maps, they are exceptional at being able to play around those limitations and really knowing how to make the Zarya work in a lot of different situations. So it's apparently the little known fact is Patana Time has an S tier Zarya. We'll see if that rings true. Let's get into map 2. Get your gambas in. Get your gambas in. Cool. It makes Trash Panda sad when people don't gamble. You don't want to make Trash Panda sad, do you?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right. Let's see. Evil Toaster coming in is a sub. We had Rick Owens and Hand Waffle in for Sync there in our first map. So we'll have Rick Owens and Evil Toaster. here for map number 2. We do get that Junkrat. So when we talk about the Junkrat van and the aura that comes with it, you know, now we got Evil Toaster in. I think already very aware of what they were dealing with. You can see the Zafara in play. Oh, and a couple of the Rex will hit right onto the hamster. Hit square onto the sphere. That's first cap over to 721. Apologies. I feel like some audio levels might be a little off. I'm so sorry. Let me get this locked in a little bit. There we go. That should be a little better for y'all. I feel like the in-game audio is probably a little loud. Dude, they just breed Wrecking Ball players over there, but you know what? Quilla was ready for that attack. I mean, you get the health bar so low, almost a successful dive on a knife's edge between that being a sync fight win and a sync retreat. You had Quilla, Reox, even Patata time was super low throughout that fight. But the good sleep and you lose Jams early. Jams now back comes in for another go. There's the slam, there's the sleep. Quilla with no CDs, though. Rick Owens trying to come in to put pressure in. If you can find that kill, it would be enormous. Rick Owens goes down. Pressure alleviated. Quilla now with Nano Boost ready to go. Anti from Rose, meaning that Potato Time did not heal from the Nano Boost, but it keeps everybody at bay. There's no touch. And a clean 100-0 here to close out market. I mean, they get hot bay with a bit of a kill. That could be an important kill. Finding Quilla and Potato Time late. We'll see if this results in a first cap once we head to, well, wherever we're heading next. Where are we headed next? Uh-oh, that's not how that was supposed to work. James got caught on the corner there. Oh, let's check out the Riptire. I always gonna love a good Riptire. Or just any Riptire for that matter. Any Riptire is a good Riptire. Oh, what a move! No shot. The turn back and then the speed in to find the Pharah. Great move there from Toaster. Bob throw it in, sleep, and all kinds of just stuff thrown towards Bob direction. Poor Bob. Poor Bob never gets a fair shake. Rick Owens lands a beautiful save as we watch this Primal up top, trying to get Habe. Woo, woo, that was a little close. A little close for comfort. Time low. We'll get chased down by Rick Owens. We're going to flip here as Sync has managed to kind of win out this, well, I say that. Look to find a favorable exchange, at least, in this scrappy engagement. They still not been able to find control of the point, unfortunately, for Sync fans. Ready, does have a barrage available. Did not see James there. James gets the Nano Boost, drops some nades, because going to go in and try to find Aquila in the back. And that was just a distraction. The red herring. It's Wick Owens. We started keeping an eye on. 3-piece for Rick in this fight, including that beautiful headshot pickup on Aquila. And that should be enough for the fight win. There we go. Even you can find a late stagger here. There's the jump. I can't wait to make some hello. I can't wait to make the most unhinged Stockholm Preds. 4 a.m. Feeding people's addictions is my favorite hobby. I knew it was. I knew it was. Nano Boost on to Potato Time. Gonna go chase down Rick Owens. Jams will fall. And that, I mean, that was just that. We did get a canceled barrage, it looked like, in there. Oh, James was close, but not able to make it back in time for a touch. That's gonna be 2-0 on Suravasa. Looks like we're headed to Gardens next. Days and ready. Put down some shots. Chase Jams away. Oh, that's an unfortunate turn. Terrible start as somehow Rose just gets pounced on. Lana should be the most protected member of your backline. 721 fine entrance on that one. Ready goes over the top. Okay, just trying to keep tabs on Evil Toaster here on the side. Mine's right on the corner. Let's see where Rose Day is playing it. Okay, everybody just backed up. They're able to avoid most of this. Looks like Time does a good job of able to anchor. James is driven away. Good nade lands, but Ready takes to the sky, is able to scout, make sure there's no incoming damage there. It's just James poking and prodding for now. You've got 4 ultimates. How are you going to crack your way into this? The bevy of nades that just kind of fall over the top all simultaneously. That was funny. James going to the back line. Would love to see if they can open up perhaps a pick on Aquila. Take the nano boost out of the fight. You know what? That'll do it. There's a +1. Evil Toaster taking a nap. Primal out. Jumps onto Rose. Finds Rose before they're able to get the nano boost into this fight. And that might just be the beginning of the end. There's the cleanup. That's going to be the end of the end. It's going to be a 3-0. Whoops. Here on Suravasa. As I hit the wrong button. But 7-2-1s are hitting everything that they intend to. Starting season 7 off with 2 map wins in a row. Sit on match point and take their first series of the season. Oh, we're gonna get a Shambali pick. Funny to me is Potato Time never goes into the Zarya. Of all that talk about Potato Time, you know, how they're apparently exceptionally good at the Zarya is what we were learning yesterday. And, you know, never really knew that, right? Never really thought about that. But apparently that is, you know, the Reaper Zarya is the bread and butter here. Has yet to pull that out. Have yet to go into their final form. They're staying in the Winston for now. Sync have not been able to force any change just yet. And I think that's when we know if 721 gets serious. We've had 2 tank bans already. We are going to get Sync choosing defense. So an unusual turn. Even in attack and defend style maps, more often than not, the team that chooses, the team that gets the choice chooses to go on attack. Chooses the red side. Yes, we will get a 3rd tank ban. They're going to go for the Ramatra here. What stands out, friends? What stands out? Honestly, it looks a lot closer. It looks a lot closer than map 1. It felt closer. We saw James find some, you know, more success with the Orisa. They were definitely able to win more team fights in that one than we saw in round 1, right? Is that Kussar 3rd? What an interesting name. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm sorry if I more than likely mispronounced it. But you know what? Compared to Nepal, that was a way closer map. I mean, it feels way closer on paper than the 3-0 scoreline indicates. That's for sure that we saw within Suravasa itself. Hermit actually leading in elims. They're in the Ana. At least 4 sync. Days, you know, Reox once again is your damage lead. With Potato Type is your elim lead. There for map 2. Gambas, get your Gambas in. Get your Gambas in. We're looking at a Bastion ban out of 7-2-1. Is they going to start us off in the attack? Oh, yeah. You're on camera, sir. Stop that. You're just showing off, man. You're just showing off. You're adorable. You should be used to being on camera. He's adorable. All right, it's time for Shambali. Let's go. Show me some Overwatch. No changes as far as rosters. It's my first look at this sync squad. You know, this squad did go 5-1 through expert quals, earn a spot here in the division. You know, we're looking at a very fun, interesting compositions. Jams is clearly leaned towards the Wrecking Ball all day long. Evil Toaster seems to be a Junkrat OTP. Always fun. It can be an interesting wrinkle to deal with. Now, fortunately for 721, Reddy does seem to have a pretty mean Pharah on him, but Jams is doing a good job of playing anti-air at the moment. Reddy's low. Reddy kind of got caught in the corner. One roll through done. Doesn't even have to spend it. Jams just simply whittles him down with the primary fire, and that is a wonderful opening pick, allowing Evil Toaster just carefully fire spam down into main. And first defensive fight, or well, the first fight will go to the defense. There we go. That's what I was gonna say. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, totally. What's going on over here? Oh, Evil Toaster caught out of position. What a split-second decision. They're out of 7-2-1 to find Evil Toaster just a couple of steps too far. Overextended. Rose stuck behind enemy lines, trying to find a late pick. Got one Red X in there, but is going to have to bail on that. Meanwhile, so far your damage leader through both maps 1 and 2 finds a crucial pick onto the Lucio. Hot Babe going down severely hinders the disengage option, so Rick Owens just lands a headshot. You know what? You don't need to disengage, you can click heads. There you go. Oh, does the wall catch him? Not even sure if the wall caught him. No, it did not. But Rick Owens does have Blizzard ready to go here. You know, right at like minute 40 into this attack. They're also looking at a Kitsu. Nothing online thus far for the attacking squad. Ready trying to come over the top. Couple of rockets out of the backline. Will force the Suzu out from Rose. Meantime kill is now built up for the first ultimate for the attacking 7-2-1. We'll throw it on to Reddy, diving in from the sky. Good boot from Hot Babe. Rick Owens is going to throw in the Blizzard. Kitsu on the cart as well. Sleep lands on to Rick Owens. Not sure what happened to Reddy. Looks like they were forced back down, rejoin the rest of their team. Now use a couple of cooldowns to get on top of Evil Toaster. We'll send Evil Toaster retreating up to the top, where they're going to drop a tire. The ball coming in, try to ankle the cart. Tire dancing around up top. We'll find Reddy for the second time today. Mines put back onto the point. Those pretty Christmas decorations scattered everywhere. Is it too early for Christmas? I don't know. Jam certainly doesn't seem to think so. It's looking like Christmas for this defense. Jam's with a quick little hamster nap. They're going to get right back up. They're going to go chase down. Patata time. Nice little short range, short game pile drive. You hear me ever talk about the Wrecking Ball short game? I love referring to like the real small movements. Like we have to play in close and tight, little things like that. Like knowing your ledges, being able to get your pile drives in funny spots. But where you don't need a lot of room to build up momentum and to find your swings. And the best Wrecking Balls in the world are really good at their short game. Traditionally a golf term, but I think it's so applicable to the Wrecking Ball. That's the barrage out already. Speaking of, trying to find the ball that will take the hamster down. This means a lot of pressure just coming in for the rest of the team. Hot Babe not able to respond with their own sound barrier, and the ultimate from Oliver will push us over the line after the initial pick. Some stall here from Jams. A little wall jump off the cart. Looking for the pile drive. There it is. Grapple free pile drive just for a little extra ult charge. But eventually we get the cap, though it did take all 4 minutes for 7-2-1 to get this first point. Yeah, we haven't figured it out yet, Brad. Honestly, we'll probably do that on stream directly following this match. Kind of figure out the rest of the week, for that matter. Blizzard from Rick Owens here to try to hold the corner. Sound barrier in the pocket of Hot Babe. Swap from Reox over to the Freya at some point. Immediately just got destroyed. Evil Toaster just absolutely just shut that down. The enemy is thrown on to Batata time. They're going to find Rick Owens before they can get the Blizzard in. Here's the response with Mines and the Tire. All the booms thrown in. Quilla will get the brunt of the majority of it. Fortunately, to even get back in mech, Batata time doesn't look like they'll get far. Kind of got kidnapped by a boob. Oh, what a roll through. What are we looking at? Kitsu thrown in from the defense. First of many ults they can layer. First of 3. Keep an eye on Oliver, try to build up the rest of these ults, otherwise it's up to the DPS to try to find something here. Rick Owens actually finds a great pick to start it off. So that'll prompt a retreat. 30 seconds to go. Winning a fight with just a defensive Kitsu. This is looking good here for 7-2-1. A very late stagger on to Patata time. They're going to draw that out. Reox heads up into the side entrance. Oh, nope, drops back down. Oliver's down. They will not get that. They will not get the sound barrier built up here for these final few seconds. Dave's just trying to make anything happen now. It's desperate moments for 7-2-1. The wall, the Blizzard to hold. You don't even need the sound barrier. Extra insurance. And a great defense put in by Sync. This series was looking so one-sided coming into this third map. But that was a comprehensive defense, a comprehensive wrecking ball defense at that. On Shambali Monastery, where, you know, there's not a lot of setup space, but nobody told Jams. Also impressed with Evil Toaster. The ability to kind of find the spots to sit and get value is insane, especially with the far Freya on the other side. And Evil Toaster is still able to get good value in there, but Jams really kind of leading the charge. I mean, some nice icicles from Rick Owens when it mattered, but we never really saw the Blizzard play a big part. And a lot of that defense on the back of Jams, and now here we go. I talked about you had to force 7-2-1 into their final form. They're showing it us here. Defensively, they will pull out the Reaper Czar.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
I'm building a payload.
Cut. Oh! Like I said, when you need it, Rick Owens will drop in the shot. I mean, what a perfect kill. I couldn't have picked a better target. Finding Reox early, that long range. I mean, your damage leader on the day, taken out very first thing. Here from the assault out of sync. And you know what? Let that one sink in. Oliver's going to try to come stall. James backs away, but got just an enormous amount of shielding from the adaptives. Little double roll through onto the Zarya. Oh, and you know James is taking that roll through perk. But you know what? Ready and Patata time here in the composition. They won the Andromeda Grand Finals on yesterday. Chase down a Rose. Swift step back up to the high ground, regrouping with Rick Owens' Jams, where they're able to find a kill on the Reox, their second death here of this defense. Hot Babe with a 2-piece! Finds the double final blow with the right click. We'll get a third here. And we have got Sync moving and grooving through point A. Keep it at bottom left is Rick Owens with the Blizzard. Inside the small room at the very top is Jams with the mines. Jams comes in, drops right in on the objective. Watch for Rick Owens to move in from the inside. They're not able to find Daze, but Reddy looks a little stuck. Good shot land. Rick Owens is going to back away from that duel. Ready 2 falls back to regroup with their own tank, building up the rest of the Death Blossom along the way. A bit of a roll through. Ready's forced back down to the lower side. And Jam's mines find Calypso. The grab was invested. I have no idea if the grab found anything. That was a Kitsu one at this point. Blizzard out. Ready's able to avoid it with the Wraith form. Comes out into fine solid form, but no amount of corporalness. Yeah, something like that. It's gonna keep Reddy alive. No Death Blossom, no hope for the defense. Letters, thank you so much for the follow. Consonants, maybe? Or is it Queg-F? Queg-F, thank you so much for the follow. So sound barrier only tool here. Reox will, take their toll. This one on to Rick Owens, finding a bit of a revenge from those opening picks earlier in the map. Some low health bars, including Patata Time. They're just now got a bubble back. Don't feel he use it yet. Trying to hunt down Hobby. Hobby, you have to stay alive with that sound barrier. It's your only hope, and you got a lot to contend with. Okay, both of the beats do hit the battlefield. Toaster doesn't get it. They're on a flank. Deadeye thrown in. And Toaster goes down. Did not see where that happened. You've got Calypso putting in, just enormous amount of damage here on the front line. And is really keeping the rest of Sync out of this fight. Oh, it's Dazed who finds one. Reddy was, poking and prodding around through that tunnel. Dazed comes back to the high ground. It's going to be a high ground rotation here from Sync. Mines into a corner. Dangerous spot. Suzu has to come out. The roll from Reox gets them back into somewhat safe ground, but Reddy trades themselves for the Junkrat. 4v4 on the point. Kitsu thrown in from Rose. Bubble available here from Patata Time. They're able to absorb a lot. Grab in. Defensive wall to try to prevent the deaths. Rico and holding on to the Blizzard to try to cap this point. They're going to go ahead and throw it. It's going to catch too. Reox is able to get out. So is Patata Time. They've got the bubbles to escape, but they can't escape the Wrath. Rick Owens finds 3. Beautiful headshot lands on a Patata Time. The wall is up, and that is a 4-piece for Rick Owens to take a map off a 7-2-1. We've got a game, y'all. Just like that. Just like that. 721 is back in this thing. 721 get map pick for the first time today. And will immediately go Runasapi and Pan We go. Sync take their first map of the season. Let's go, friends. Which sides? Do we get? Yeah, 721 will stay in the red outline. So we'll go and plug that Wrecking Ball in. And there's some map 3 stats for you, friends. You still have Patata Time and Dazed as damage leads in the lobby, both at roughly 11k. But, the coordination, the teamwork there between Jams and the rest of the squad. And, you put up quite the turnaround. Wow. Far more team fight wins. Very, very dominant performance there on Shambali. Definitely some shades of Wasp in there, Mannix. Definitely. NetNif was already on Dream Eaters. They had another pickup as well. I know they got another pickup alongside Senna. Good call, though. I thought it was NetNif. Maybe I was... Obviously, I misremembered. Good call. Good call. You keeping me honest, Trash Panda. Keeping me honest. Jam's going to pull out the Ramatra in lieu of the Wrecking Ball ban. Patata Time, just going to stick with the Diva. And we did see shades of what I touted to be their final form there with the Reaper Czar and the Shambali defense. But the Reaper Czar, you know, one thing that was actually discussed with Andromeda is they didn't really go up against any dive teams or Wrecking Ball teams at all with the Reaper Czar comp. And that it can be a great weakness to that. And even here, we're going to see the Brawl ends up being a beautiful choice. Waffle Maker comes back in, pulls up the Soj, and a little Brawl comp with Lucio Carey works out for first fight for Sync. Dream Eaters is Senna's team. Evil Toaster comes up with their first pick for the second fight in a row. Taking Dazed out early. There's your damage lead in the server for today's series so far. I mean, once again, just finding Dazed early in the fight has been crucial. 7-2 able to clap back. Ready, finds a kill on to Hot Babe. Let's go check in with Patata Time. Where you at? All right, he's right there next to them on bot. Eox returns to find some revenge against Evil Toaster. And we get a late fight swing. They're out of 7-2-1. Ready kind of staying in the fight the entire time. Ready and Patata Time never really going down. Real Hot Babe is in the streamer team is Abs. Yeah. Thought so. I thought so. Good. Thank you, Wargo, but appreciate the verification. Watch Ready up top there. Barrage in the pocket. Ketsu down low from Rose. James is going to turn the corner with the Nemesis form. Jace is 7-2-1 to that dangerous street, but it looks like it was a bit of a bait as we get the orbital now thrown in. Jams doesn't seem to sway though. Pops the Annihilation is staying in thick inside the orbital. Quilla is going to get wrestled down there with the tendrils of death. Death of 1,000 cuts if you would. Oliver punched into the spawn, and it's going to be yet another fight win. And all the while, we did get the bot stolen away there by Hot Babe. So we're going to get some good progress here after what's essentially the third fight win out of sync. Tiger goes over the top to pick up the nice pair of kills. You know, amidst all of that chaos, you know, the barrage thrown in, OC was invested from Waffle Maker and all that, but there's the two-piece out of the tire that really got her done. And that's, I mean, Evil Toaster just consistently finding kills with that ultimate. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Pushed to the inside, spoiled already. Waffle Maker with that opening pick onto Killa. Just takes so much sustain out of this. This has been a comprehensive map so far here out of sync. They've only had a handful of deaths. We're looking at 7 deaths total out of sync. You know, they've definitely, I think they're like 4-1 in team fights by my eye test. And that's going to be the checkpoint here, right at the halfway mark as far as time. Double support ults ready to go. Quilla is still a little bit behind, because they've died a few times in this fight. We got both sound barriers invested in. The OC out of the back line could be the difference maker. Got a lot of health to whittle through, though. Jams pops their own ultimate. It's 3 ultimates out of both sides. Nobody able to find a pick just yet. As I said, that we saw a reset. There was an opening pick. Either Potato Time got demacked. Alright, so we're going maximum burst damage there with the Freya. Rockets take aim, bolts flying towards Waffle Maker. Try to see if they can kind of draw anybody in, I think, to this straight to pop this OC. You can see them kind of playing way out in the open. I think they're hoping for the swing. They're trying to bait the swing. Oh, no. How do you catch a Freya in a trap? No shot. No shot. Waffle Maker does go down, though. Top 5 entrance. I mean, makes her way all the way up top. Really got underneath the skin of Sync in that fight. An important pair of kills, but they got to back away. Very little health. Ready still in deep. Jam somehow hangs on with a thread. Evil Toaster and Ready both at one. Ready will win the duel. Just gonna have time for Jams to pop a Nemesis and get out of there. But we hit the 3-minute mark, and you know what they say. Runasapi doesn't even start until the final 3 minutes. Tire just holding in place for now. There's the barrage right on top of the tank. And, oh, Potato Time punched the tire. Punched the tire. All right.
It's our turn. Let's push forward.
Oh, what a shot from Ready. Drops one right on Rose as they move out. They do prevent the cap. Sync prevents the cap, but only for a moment. With the Annihilation and the Kitsu thrown in. That is a disastrous fight. Suddenly, after what has been an exceptional Runasapi here with 2 minutes to go, that is a terrible dip in economy here for Sync. Swirly Swirls, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Daze throws in the bullet shot over the top. Prototype goes in deep. Sound barrier tossed in with the self-destruct and the Kitsune rush. Everything in the kitchen sink thrown in to try to thwart Sync and crush him right here on Runasapi. But time to time, will pick him a pick on the Waffle Maker. Fly around, find a couple of low players. Whoop, Kitsu out from Rose. Barely hanging on. They're eventually brought down by a shot from Ready. And 7-2-1 are a few precious steps away from the lead here in map 4. Jams at 1 health, pops the Nemesis, holds the cart. Not enough reinforcements for F721 to confidently overrun. As spawns come in here for Sync, and they protect a small sub 5 meter lead. Watch for Ready sitting up, looping through cafe. Not my cafe, hashtag. There it is, Conk blast it over the top. Barrage is going to take the hop up immediately. Evil Toaster does get the kill. Tire in. Toaster's been so good with these today. This is the most important one of the series. Try to go out of the window. The bolt lands. Daze will end the tire. Flattens the ultimate. 3 players holding the corner. Spawn advantage massively favoring Sync here if they can just hold the line. Kitsu thrown in. The only ultimate they have at their disposal. Decent disengagement. Poseidon's head low on health. Does not get up towards the self-destruct. Will get taken down. Demacked. Jams is able to block through the bullet shot in from Reox. And we're going to a map 5. The Annihilation is up. Nothing but blue jerseys left. And Sync win their second map of the season. We're kicking this one off with a map 5. Can Sync reverse sweep? Let's go. Where we headed? You have any map at your disposal. You can choose any map that hasn't been played yet. So any game type is at your disposal. And it's going to be a Dorado pick. I anticipate 721 will start on the attack. Once again, they shall. They spend that all-important Wrecking Ball ban. Now things get interesting. What do we think is giving them the problem? Like, it doesn't feel like it's really one individual little thing here. Do we see a Tracer Band come out? You know, maybe to try to, prevent the pairing with the Wrecking Ball? And we do. That's exactly what we're going to see. Yeah. All right, let's get some stats here from map 4. I did not make tea for this match, and I'm so regretting it right now. I got to be honest, I was a little kicking some rust off. Like, I was kind of scrambling to get started here. All right, what are we going to ban out? What you banning out there, Sync? Sync's gonna ban out the Ana. No surprise, honestly, because I think we will likely see the Winston out of the 721, given what was working for him on the first 2 maps. Back on those stats, what stood out stat-wise? 22-3 there for Jams. Fudgy, I appreciate you being here. 21-4 for Plem, who has been in since map 2. We will have Rick Owen staying on the bench with that Tracer Band coming in. So we will stick with Plymouth's Evil Toaster. We will stick with Evil Toaster and Waffle Maker here for map 5. But look at the damage out of Jams. My goodness. Jams there with 12k damage. And for the first time today, it's a Sync player that leads the lobby. That's just weird numbers. You look at this. 12.242 dealt, 12.522 mitigated. Like, that's just a lot of 2s. Am I crazy? That's just a lot of 2s. And you have a 1 and a 4 and a 5. I don't know. It's just weird numbers. Weird numbers. Okay, anyway. Days 9 and 9. It was, what I was thinking, the player I was thinking was your MVP. If things had kept going like they were going through maps 1 and 2, Reox absolutely was going to be your MVP. Moving over to 721 this season. And after coming from that Quack roster, joining up with Potato Time and, the rest of what was remains from the MC Aquila roster to form this 721. And Reox looking to get their first MVP of the day, but has been quiet past 2 maps. 9 and 10 in Suravasa. Excuse me, in map 3. Map 3 was Shambali. 9 and 10 in Shambali, and then 9 and 9 there in Runasapi. So we'll keep an eye on Reox here, headed into Dorado. I think they're going to have to heat back up if we're going to see 7-2-1 prevent this reverse sweep. That was the wrong button. There we go. Let's get into map 5. We are going to see 721 roll out with the Diva. So, in lieu of the Ana ban, I'd imagine no Winston here, at least not to start. me a ton of time, Diva. Waffle Maker and the Ash, really kind of the only difference we're seeing here from the sync composition. And I just realized Reddy's playing a Genji. Petite Pigeon supporting Evil Toaster. I love it. I love it. You know, I did not have that on my bingo card, but you know, it makes a lot of sense. Evil Toaster under a bit of pressure here. He was trying to get a little greedy, but lands a direct. That was a huge direct on the days. You see the Freya just fall like a ragdoll out of sky. What a shot. Evil Toaster. Woo. I mean, you know what? Honestly, casting Evil Toaster today was not on my bingo card for that matter. Oh, I gotta check something. Just real quick. Yeah, we did not have Evil Toaster on this roster. This has been a new addition since we did our power ranking. I was about to say I did not have this on my bingo card. So you better believe Evil Toaster is now added to the sync roster. Oh, 10 health. This game's back down in after a near disastrous turn there versus Quilla. Quilla 95% towards Ketsu. 2 minutes to go here in point A. Gets you thrown over the left-hand side of the objective. So you try to move in past the fountain here in the middle. Bob throwing in, try to hold the line defensively. Let's go check in with Reddy. Oh, Reddy's just going to get popped. Rose puts one between the eyes, swifts back onto the objective. We get a bit of a flip of the map. Time to time, and looks like was Riox back? No, Riox back on cart. Time to time, and the two supports were there behind the enemy lines. Mines Kitsu here to re-engage. Minute 20 to go. Sound barrier lands. Hot Babe still about 20% away. Is Ready and the rest of 721 get aggressive. Tyre gets popped. No, Tyre gets Oliver. So you take the speed out of the equation. Let's see, the sync composition sometimes tends to work when broken, but does eventually get overwhelmed here. Slim has been absolute Thanos today. My goodness. That's incredible. Oh, nice little bit of tech there. A couple little roll-through hits. And you can see has the extra roll-through damage. So it's doing additional damage on each one of those hits on the Potato Time. Just creates a little bit more pressure. And it definitely adds up. And will also affect your ult charge as well. Dash in, play it out from Ready. Cuts through Waffle Maker immediately. Sound barrier down from Hot Babe is going to be a touch late to save their Ash. Potato Time low is able to find Rose in the back line. To really limit testing off that one. I think that kill. Will at least allow you to turn the corner. Is there time for a recontest? I mean, there's a Wrecking Ball. There's always time for a recontest. How much can Evil Toaster do? Waffle Maker goes down early in this fight. Mine's thrown onto the point. Oh, Daze just leaps into him. Falls in off the high ground. I don't know, maybe thought they were outside of the range. It just looked like they just jumped right into him. Suzu, Ketsu, all in. Try to save Reddy, fighting along coast. Evil Toaster jumps to the other high ground. Gets a kill on Aquila. My goodness, somehow, what is going on here? The mental games, the psychic power out of sync is just unbelievable. They are just willing the enemy to walk into their minds, to walk into their traps. Almost C9 as the Wrecking Ball rolls away. I think Potato Time thought they might have been able to sneak one in, but it's James going in to find yet another kill on the Riox. 70 seconds to go. Nice little tech with the corner jump pile drive. Significant damage onto the pilot Diva. And with 60 seconds remaining, we get a late kill. One more stab at this thing here for 721. I come on stream and I see Petite Pigeon cheering for a junk. I know, right? Talk about not on your bingo card. That's gonna be a waffle maker Bob here defensively. 6v5. 6v4. Toaster gets all the way into the back line. Go check out what's going on here. Quilla's low. Oh, here comes Hoppy. Just a cinch from the heavens. Take down Quilla. And without the Curie, it's going to be very difficult. See, 721 are trying to see if they can regroup for one last attack.
10 seconds.
All right, there's Quilla. They're going to get 5 players into this fight. You got a sound barrier to work with here if you're 721. Tire coming in from the opposite direction, out of the vault. Stuck on the corner for a moment. Runs into the Kitsu, trying to chase them. We'll get 2! Ready and Quilla both catch the business end of that. The sound barrier, I did not even see it. I don't even know if Oliver's beat hit the table, but it was too little too late. Even if it did, cart's going nowhere.
Score 0-1. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Jam's 12-1. Battalion time 11-2. Only 4 damage separate the 2 tanks. 4. Wait, no, I'm sorry. That's 4 damage separating Waffle Maker and Potato Time. Still, that's kind of wild. What on the unholy comp is this?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
All right.
Stop the payload.
I mean, really, everybody's got, you know, good outs. You're not going to be able to control the flank as well with the Brig as you would with the Lucio. But with the Tracer banned out, you don't have to worry about that as much. So, oh my goodness, an Evil Toaster immediately goes on a flank towards Courtyard side, right out of spawn to Defy Quilla immediately. The mine to get back. And they're just right back on cart, regroup with the rest of the team. +2 here for Sync. Make it a +3. Oops. It's out of time, just AFK in the room. Okay, there we go. Juju says no loud or win. I mean, we heard. I mean, apparently even Potato Side themselves, even Ego themselves, was talking about how much of an impact Lao had in the Andromeda roster, right? So that's nobody denied that. I don't think anybody. I don't think 721 would deny that one. The impact that Lao has. Waffle Maker closest to ult out of anybody in the server right now, 71% towards this opening Bob. But, well, Rayox hits the shot. That's, well, that's gonna change. James rolls in, trying to get some use out of the shields, I think, after popping that cooldown a little early. Does successfully find an assassination, but ends up stuck there by the statue. And then there's just kind of nobody else to really pressure high ground, so... Ready playing a dangerous game there. Peeking Waffle Maker, looking for some additional ult charge. Evil Toaster will unleash our first ultimate of the map, or at least of the attack, that is. Daze low. Aquila with a swift step up top. Oh, it's forced back down. Daze will eventually get found out. It's Hot Babe there with the kill. And gets the kill on Aquila as well. Hot Babe has had a hell of a map here. 76% towards this beat. And with Oliver playing the Brig, I mean, you've not only left the Lucio kind of free to do what they want, but there's going to be no match for the sound barrier here on the end. You know, the rally, good longer sustain, doesn't have the same kind of burst. It's going to be Mines over the point. Bob invested. You hear from Sync as they try to find their first win of the season. And in a reverse sweep style, Bob is going to get taken down. Reddy finds themselves in one of those shiny little spheres. Now the sound barrier's in. Rally is popped here from the defense. But Time trying to hold. Knows the long game will favor them in this exchange. You also have Reddy coming up on a blade. And so far, 72-1 are doing a good job of playing this nice and slow. Evil Toaster camping up on this high ground. Reddy's going to move in and evacuate them from the premises. Actually, it's forced back down in their own right. Can't risk dying up there. You need that Dragon Blade. Evil Toaster nowhere to found on screen. Reddy builds up towards the rest of their ultimate. 2-3 slashes down into Waffle Maker. Follows up with a kill on Rose, and the defense holds. At 2:45 remaining. There was less than 5 meters to go. And that would have been Sync winning the series in brilliant fashion. Beautiful recognition of the situation out of 7-2-1. They play it nice and slow. Potato Time just sits on cart, and the patience is rewarded. But now, lots of time to hold here. Suzu actually did not prevent the knockup. That was kind of an interesting interaction. Looks like it might have prevented, or just, I guess, healed the damage. Anyway. But it does mean Jam's got some ult charge off of that. Oh, but Rose goes down. Potato Time on their own assassination mission. Pigeon's toasting it. Are we toasting it, friends? Are we toasting it? Let's see. As the dash lands right on top of Oliver. That's a big pickup. I mean, there's no boobs to keep Jams at bay. Mine's in the vault. Oh, it's a nasty minefield. Surprised you didn't do more damage onto the Diva, but you still force out the self-destruct onto the point. Nevertheless, Ton of Time's got to be feeling low on resources, low on reinforcements, low on everything, low on hope to win this opening match of the season. We're looking at a 5v1 on point. Bob will reinforce. Reox comes in to try to support a low Potato Time. Hold it down the high ground. It's going to be a pile drive in, but Reox sends them packing. Reddy returns, and the defense finds the kill. A precious kill. With 60 seconds to go, less than 3 meters from success or defeat. Bob, Kitsu thrown in. Toaster dueling out with Reddy on this high ground. Hobby's able to find the kill onto the pilot Diva. Knocked up into the air. Reddy is one hell and the card is pushed in. Sync will win the opening match of the season in a reverse sweep over the highly touted 7-2-1. 7-2-1, a team that I was worried I had too low in my power rankings at 5th. After seeing their performance in the Andromeda Grand Finals yesterday, or at least 3 of the 5 members of this team. And Sync, a team that I had outside of top 12 in the fighting to get on the list, you know, and the team that I think had potential, but I needed to see more out of them. Man, did we see him dig deep here today. That was looking, I mean, this was looking like it could have gone real swift. We had a 3-0 on Suravasa to give 7-2-1 the 2-0 lead in the series and put them on match point. We had an extraordinarily dominant map 1. I mean, let's go back and look at some of these stats from map 1, right? 721 only had 7 deaths in the entirety of the map. This was looking like it was going to be a quick 3-out, like we were going to start off season 7 with, you know, I mean, just a blink and you miss it type match. Oh man, but Sync, take us to Shambali. Did they have other plans? They quiet what had been an extremely high impact Dazed Reox. They silence the star hit scan come map 3. I mean, not so much in damage, but as far as overall impact, right? This was the start of it. This was the start of it. By Runasapi, Reox was not even top 3 in damage in the lobby. Didn't even have a medal. Does actually still back their bronze in damage just for map 5. But it's hand waffle. Look at the Ash. Look at the impact on that Ash. 13k damage. Hermit and Hot Babe both with outstanding maps as well. Hot Babe doing such a good job of finding, not just finding picks, but also keeping Potato Time in check with the diva dives into the back line. You know, I mean, we saw Hand Waffle was under a lot of pressure. That was all for Potato Time trying to move in and trade. You know, when you would see Jams go in on these assault runs, and a lot of time Potato Time's only choice wasn't to try to peel, but to try to move in and see if they could find the most vulnerable target on the opposite side, which with a Lucio Kiri backline was, of course, the Ash. So really good job from Hot Babe to ensure that Hand Waffle was able to stay in the fight as much as they were and put up this 13k. Map 5. So I'm inclined to give Hot Babe player of the match. Not gonna lie. I'm inclined to give Hot Babe player of the match. Based on that. It's tough. It's hard to argue with Hand Waffle. Hand Waffle. Only played 3 of the 5 maps today. But we're in on important map 4 and 5 and did have that 13k map 5. Tough to say. It's tough. Actually, I'm going to stick with my gun. I mean, Jams. Jeez. I mean, it's hard to overlook Jams. The influence and the power of the Wrecking Ball was very, very apparent as well. So an enormous team effort here for Sync's debut game in FACEIT League. And they turn around. I mean, what a debut. Turn around an 0-2 deficit into a reverse sweep. My God. What a debut here for Sync. And there you go. That's our first game in the books. Hot Babe is your player of the match here in this reverse sweep. What a start. Season 7 has begun, has officially begun.